Hello, everyone. Welcome to Go Global War. I'm super excited to have GGW Sharks 28th. It's been 9 months so far. We were doing and really making so much noise in the industry with this event. It's so organic. I'm so grateful that investors and startups, you guys participate, support us with this event. And I'm hoping that we are bringing you that much value because the support we have is tremendous. I really appreciate that. And today we're gonna again pitch to investors and hopefully you will get as many connections as possible, so it would lead you to potential funding. It's not guaranteed, it depends on you. You need to convince the investors, and if they select you, we will connect you by email, as always we do. It's a free event. The GGW members pitch first, and then the rest of the audience. And with that, I don't want to make you wait. Let's jump into learn what is Go Global World, the rules, and then introduce the Sharks. All right, what is Go Global World? Go Global World is the platform for investors, first of all, for automating scouting and take them to the exit. So where investors meet and manage relevant startups. It's a place where each investor and each startup has a nice, simple one-pager where you can decide faster, either quickly apply for funding and understand what is their criteria, or investor can connect to other investors, or investors can see the one-pager of startups and having almost relevant information of pre-selected, verified startups, and take a decision, either pass or connect. We independently verify, we also verify it through our team. So you are taking, you are looking at most relevant people and most relevant startup, most relevant investors by your criteria. Well, when startups go on investor page, investors share with them their page, and that helps them to actually understand whether it makes sense to reach out to this investor, not to spam them with cold funding request. So they go and apply for funding, and the system will automatically would inform an investor if there is a relevant startup, they should take a look. Or if not, the founders are informed that this is another relevant connection, and the system will introduce them to other investors on our platform automatically. So it's always a facilitation of connection of most relevant startups with most relevant investors. Same for investors. When they go on a startup one-pager, they will see detailed information, their metrics, their user information, the team information, and their 60-second elevator pitch. So with all of that, it will be easy and fast for you to decide whether you want to connect or pass. And the system will, on the back end, will also look at your criteria and match against the other side criteria. So we will facilitate the most relevant connection through our matchmaking functionality. Well, it's not only the matchmaking, it's also fund workflow management and analytics. You have the data that explains you how you got to a relevant connection, what is the conversion rate, what's your conversion rate on the platform, and what is your conversion rate from your external audience who are reaching out to you with cold funding requests, and you are all overwhelmed with cold outreach from startups. So the system automates processing of those outreaches, so you don't have to manually process those funding requests. And if any one of those is an interesting project for you, the system will definitely let you know about that because it will be a match. So that's it about us. I will share the information about Go Global World so you can create your profiles of startups, profiles of investors, and if somebody is an advisor, there is a separate role for advisors and accelerators. Now, we have an honorable judges panel, and in here we have Stanley Anyetei, Elena Gantvarg, David Mandel, Elena Maley, and Collin Groves. I will let the investors to introduce themselves in a second. And now the very important part is the rules. Please keep yourself muted if you can, because this is how we make sure that the event is going efficient. Now, please make sure that you raise hand to pitch. It's a 2-minute elevator pitch plus questions. So you don't need to use slides. And my team on the back end is going to select those who pitch first. We only give a chance to pitch to those who have their first and last name and a company name and video on. So if you have some I don't know, a number of letters and digits instead of your full name and company name, and you don't have a video, you probably might not be selected. So just make sure that you have first name, last name, company name, and video on, so we can verify it's real people and it's not going to be something surprising for us. It's really important. Um, those pitch only those pitch who are the new startups with sales, IP, and a scalable business model. So please make sure that you fit this criteria. Unless you were invited by us specifically to pitch, but usually these are the minimum criteria we expect. Please respect time. It's a 2 hours event maximum, so we'll have a hard stop because we have a commitment to investors. And if somebody does make it to the end, we will let you pitch on the other event among the first. And GGW subscribe members to subscribe and pay members on the platform, they will be pitching first because of them, this event is happening every week. Now, if you don't get time to pitch, please email us at info@goglobal.world, and we'll make sure that you will pitch next time. And remember, this is a networking event. We have also investors in the chat. Please introduce yourself there, exchange contacts. Please don't sell anything to each other. We sometimes remove people for selling and for using this for some other business activities. It's a networking event where one founder helps the other founder. So it's really important. And recommendation to the founders, please share your GGW profiles in the chat with investors so that they can see it and potentially connect with you. Investors can also share their GGW profiles if you're registered on the platform. And finally, keep it as a story to make it efficient or ideal to an elevator pitch. Then get to the point right away, because investors want to know what you do. Don't go too long in your problem or something. What you do, guys, and this is something where investors can get some interest quick, so you can catch their attention. Why are you unique? So maybe differentiate from competition, and so what makes you unique? And traction. We have sales, we have this amount of users, we are growing like 30-50% month over month. Wherever you think that can help you to stand out in front of investors, please share. Then they will ask you questions. And if you pitched before and you're pitching again, then you need to explain what has changed since the last time you've been on our session, and we need to see progress. It does make sense to pitch the same thing all over again. You always need to show some progress. Well, that's it on my end. And the one other thing I want to ask everyone, let's make some noise in the social media. So during the event, please take some screenshots and share this event on LinkedIn and Twitter, and tag Go Global World, the speakers, and others. So it's fun, it's public, and enjoy it. This is our contacts, goglobal.world. This is our email. So contact us if you have any questions. And with that, I would like to start introduction of our judges. And this is super exciting. So let's start probably with Stanley. Stanley, please introduce yourself, your fund.
Hi, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to be part of it. My name is Stanley Anyetei, and I'm the investment manager for a sustainable investment bank in the Netherlands called Triodos Investment Management. We invest in agriculture, financial inclusion, which is banks and financial technology, and renewable energy. So we invest within any sort of business plan within those sectors. And we got about 8 funds under management, and it's about 5 billion, and we invest across the world. I also sit on the board of Signify Foundation, and we invest in new renewable energy technologies, no matter what type of technology it is, so long as it helps with the transition from traditional way of doing business to any sort of renewable. And of course, I am the professor of sustainable investments across a few universities in the Netherlands. We have ticket sizes from 500,000 to 20 million euros. And of course, we also offer grants and recoverable grants to help people test their model. So while we go through the discussion, please have that in mind, and I look forward to a great discussion. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Elena Gantvarg, please take your turn. Thank you, Stanley.
Sure. Hello.
Yes.
Is it me? All right.
It's
the first time for me to be a judge of the event with another Elena. Like it's it's somewhat confusing. So I'm with Flint Capital, an early stage fund based in Boston. We do seed rounds and Series A rounds. The check size for seed rounds is anywhere between a few 100,000 to $1 million. The check size for Series A is between $1 million and $5 million. Like we're generalists, but there are a few areas that we're always looking at, and those include cybersecurity, digital health, fintech, enterprise software. We do both B2B and B2C with preference for B2B companies. Our main target is the US. However, we do invest in European companies as well. We have many Israeli companies in our portfolio, but we're US based, and we invest in those companies that have plans to expand to the US or have traction in the US.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Lena. Great to have you. So exciting to have Stanley, Elena, and all of you. So David, Mandel, please, your turn.
Hello, happy to be here. David Mandel, I'm managing partner at Emerging Ventures Capital. We are on Fund 2 at the tail end of Fund 2's third year of a 3-year investment cycle, and still have money in Fund 2 to make investments, but we'll have Fund 3 launched for early next year to continue. We invest in US and Canada-based tech startups that are using emerging technologies to solve real-world problems. So mostly B2B SaaS, some hardware, as long as there's recurring revenue. And we're industry agnostic. Yeah, anyone solving any problem for any vertical of any business using emerging technologies.
Appreciate it. Sorry to interrupt you, but appreciate that. David, great to have you. And David have been on other pitch events at the other program, Pitch to Global Investors. It was always valuable to have you, David, and great to see you here among the Sharks. Collin Groves, your turn.
Yeah, pleasure to be with everybody today. Collin Groves here. I'm the principal at BDev Ventures. We invest in B2B SaaS companies as well, US and Latin America focused, although we've recently branched out to a couple of European companies as well. About $150 million fund focused in seed, Series A, Series B, check size, a couple 100,000 to a couple million as well. And for us, it's about being a value add strategic investor, not necessarily a lead investor. So we're a co-investor in rounds. And we have a proprietary lead gen software that we let our portfolio companies use, and we'll actually test it out with them beforehand as a part of diligence as well. So at the end of the day, our goal is to be on the cap table. And when you look at our name on the cap table, you can point to it and you know exactly how much revenue we're helping bring to the top line of that company and how much cost we're saving as well. So looking forward to hearing a couple of pitches today.
All right, great to have you. So exciting. Thank you for your introduction. And Elena, you'll be the one who will be actually opening the entire session of this Global World Sharks. No pressure.
Okay. Okay, Daniel, thank you for this great opportunity to be here and to be part of your community. So my name is Elena Maley, and I'm a general partner and co-founder of ATEM Capital LLC. It's a company venture capital fund that is based in New York. And also I'm a co-founder of several other venture capital firms in the US and co-founder of company startup Lancer. So I would say like a serial entrepreneur. And ATEM Capital invests primarily in biopharma in the United States. So it's our third fund. And the previous one was $700 million US under management. This fund is a little bit not so much money, but anyway, we invest in Series A, B, pre-IPO companies in biopharma, digital health, AI drug discovery, and other technologies. So I would be very happy to hear anything about biotech and medicine here.
So exciting to have you, Elena, and thank you for these great introductions. Well, we have an honorable, great panel of investors, and let's jump right into it. So my small ask to investors, please don't turn off your video, so because you're on the main stage, everyone is looking at you, so you're the main people today. And yeah, so the first startup to pitch is, let me see what my team is saying, is Gary Cohn. Gary, are you ready?
Yeah. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Cohn. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Luxury Travel Hackers. And what we're doing is we're leveraging travel content and influencers to make vacations bookable on social media. And so to get a better understanding of that is that, 86% of all travelers across every generation are choosing their next vacation on social media. And then they're spending 10 to 20 hours of research on multiple websites to build a trip that was just presented to them. And influencers and content creators are not making any money from the primary thing that they focus on, which is the travel and the content. And so we are removing this friction between the discovery and the booking process by allowing people to book in one easy, seamless experience, and then giving influencers the ability to turn followers into customers. How do we know it works? We've ran a few betas, and then we've kind of soft launched over the last couple months. We've done about 1.5 million in sales so far, under $3 lead cost on the paid ad side, which is 30 times lower than industry standard. We've got 300 influencers on our wait list with about 80 million followers. We landed at our first beta, we did a 6x ROAS. Our second beta, we did an 8x ROAS, and then we're sort of just back at market now, so it's a little too early to tell, but we are assuming it's going to be the same. We're venture backed by 3 funds: ATX Ventures out of Austin, Launch Capital, which is an incubator program we went through last year that's funded by Andreessen Horowitz, and also Goodwater Capital, as well as Band of Angels just came in about 3 months ago and made a $250,000 investment in us. We're about 60% subscribed. We're raising a 1.5 million round that's about, as I said, 60% subscribed. We've got and that's pretty much it. I'll just kind of end it there.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Dear Sharks, do you have any questions to Gary?
So yeah, Gary, thank you for the presentation. So just for me to understand, maybe I missed it. Where are you today? Like how many trips were booked, or the revenues, the traction?
So we've done 1.5 million in sales based on the betas. We've soft launched. We're going to do a full launch in the beginning of in Q1 of next year. And so what we're doing now is we're in the process of onboarding influencers. We're just finishing up some of the technology that we've built, and we're optimizing the sales process and experience and user experience right now. So we've done pretty well. We've validated the market with what we've done through the betas. Landed at a positive ROAS. Our organic conversion is about a 0.01 conversion. And to give you some kind of metrics around that, so 300 influencers with 80 million followers convert at a 0.01, that's a $72 million annual pipeline of sales. And then we do about a 15% commission on those sales is our margin. And then we do a split commission with the influencer where they get 30% of that commission, we get 70%.
Thank you. And what is your sustainable competitive moat in this?
Well, we're building a brand. I mean, we're building a brand with brand recognition. No one's doing what we're doing. And so, our moat is basically, the influencers and the social media following that we have as a company. We have about 1.5 million followers across our 16 accounts that are branded to us. And that's, basically it.
Thank you.
Stanley here. If you were to sell your company in about 5 to 10 years time, who would you sell it to, and why would they buy it?
Expedia, Booking.com would probably be the people that came to us, maybe Airbnb. I think probably what they would do is they would buy us. I think we're going to be a target for acquisition in about 18 months.
Yeah.
I think they would buy us, and then what they would do is they would replace our technology with their entire booking engine. And so now all of the influencer, everything is, booking, through Expedia's version of the booking engine.
And last question on that, will you white label it then?
Yeah, we're white labeling it to the influencers. Yeah, so we're essentially what we're doing is we're building the influencers their own Expedia, for lack of a better term. So if Janet, the influencer, has 15 trips that she's done over the last 3 years, we make all those 15 trips bookable through her little booking engine that we've done for her. It's all linkable to her social media, her various social media outlets. So essentially we're e-commercing travel, which no one's really been able to do successfully.
Hey, Gary, one quick question here. What are you planning to do with all the funds that you're raising right now?
So, so the additional probably 750-ish that we're going to raise is basically going to pay for some technology, a lot of marketing. We have a few hires we have to do, and it also gets us to profitability. So we're 6 to 8 months away from profitability, where we're making more money than we're burning. Yeah. Is that specific enough, or
That's right. Thanks.
enough?
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Are there any other sharks, any sharks interested to connect with Gary? Are you guys in or out?
Yeah, I don't really fall under the category of most of what you guys do. So I imagine that it's not really, I don't know, unless you like it personally or someone else that might be interested in. I'm not sustainable or a SaaS or any of those other things.
Stanley, are you interested?
I think I can try and connect you to somebody sustainable where you can actually speak to them on a way that you can actually perfect it. Because I think there is what you do is that you save people a lot of time. You also allow people to leverage on other people's experiences. So I mean, let's see if we can talk later and see whether we can introduce you to people. Good luck.
Sounds good. Thank you.
We have one shark interested. All right, fantastic. Thank you so much, Gary. We will connect you today or tomorrow after the event. Okay.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Appreciate that. We're moving on to the next presenter, which is Roman Levitsky. Roman, please go next. We got 2 minutes. Roman, please respond. Turn on your microphone.
Sorry, guys. Sorry. Here I am.
All right.
So, I'm Roman Levitsky, an art collector and owner of creative agency Contemporary Art Auction, and now the founder of Atoll Art Inc., the company that will disrupt and democratize the crazed and corrupted old schoolish global art market that remains stable in volumes for at least the last decade. Atoll Smart Stands present a brand new way to promote, engage with, and sell art that significantly increase the real-world visibility of physical artwork while synergizing with the possibilities of an e-commerce platform. By showcasing physical artworks in a high-traffic global venues, we are creating the main stage for artists to break through, involving much more buyers in the industry and generating new data streams to enhance industry-wide price transparency. For now, we are finalizing the online platform MVP, awaiting the first 2 titles produced and shipped to the US in the next 60 days, have a collection of 400 curated artworks ready for sale, and working with Simon Properties Group on piloting the project in the best US malls. We are raising $400,000 safe at $4 million post-money valuation cap to validate the market by 2 titles in Las Vegas or Miami, reaching $50,000 in revenue within half a year. If you are interested in disrupting one of the last undisrupted industries, let's talk about it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Roman. Dear Sharks, do you have any questions to Roman?
Wow. I'll start. Is this a US-based company? Are you a Delaware C Corp?
Yes. I'm in Miami right now. I can see you guys somehow.
It's all right. Just let me put you in the room. Okay.
Just for to hop quickly.
Oh, here am I. Okay, cool.
Anyone else would like to ask Roman a question? Anyone interested to connect?
Roman, just quickly, for better clarity, is this like a marketplace for art? Is it a way to own art? What is it in terms?
Yes, it is the marketplace with the offline visibility. So I want to put those stands in the middle of the crowded places like shopping malls, airports, luxury hotels lobbies. So I will increase the offline visibility of artworks 1,000 times, because right now all art galleries are empty. Nobody likes to go inside art galleries. And like on each end face of the handle of my stand, you will see the touchscreen display connected with a big online marketplace. So it's combining offline and online. And like this increase of the offline visibility will be like 100,000 times.
What are you doing about validation of the authenticity of the pieces?
So there is no, we're talking about primary market. It's about living artists. It's not about Dali. It's not about someone dead. So it's living artists, and there is no problem on supply side, because there is a million artists in the world who like literally struggling to make a living in the market full of potential buyers.
But you still struggle with the problem of authenticity, because I mean, regardless of whether it is a historical or current, it can still be duplicated. And I think that question is still valid.
Okay, so like I got the question. Like it's you can duplicate for example, painting like oil on canvas for emerging artists, but it's like will be cost pretty much the same monies. So we're talking on the primary market with the average price from $3,000 to like $10,000 per piece. It doesn't make sense to make a copy of this type of things.
Okay. Are there any other sharks interested to ask a question, or anyone interested to connect?
And the business model, like you just take a cut on transactions?
Yeah, it's a 50% kind of cut. It's kind of industry standard in this market.
Do you have already contracts with these malls or other locations?
Yes, so now we are.
Put your kiosk?
Yeah, so we are working with the Simon Properties Group. This is the biggest operator here, and they are very interested to have us in their properties.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, perfect. Well, my final call, anyone in or out? All right, thank you so much, Roman. Appreciate that.
Okay, thank you guys. Thank you, bye.
Have a great day. Please stay at the end and share your GGW link here, so other investors potentially can connect. The next person to present is, let me see, Max Bezrukov. The guys are building 3D printer for print houses, and they are quite fine their model. So Max, are you here?
Yeah.
All right, you got 2 minutes to present.
Yeah, thank you, Daniel. Hello, everyone. I'm Max, CEO at AC3D, and we are developing a vertically integrated construction 3D printing technology, which includes 3D printers, new materials, and building designs. There are several problems that we are solving. First of all, it's ecological footprint, as construction is producing close to 45% of greenhouse gas emissions. Regarding the waste, if you imagine like 10 dumpsters, that 8 out of 10 would be filled by construction waste. Another thing that the global housing crisis is hitting every country, provided demand for millions of homes worldwide, while the labor shortage is limiting industry capacity. IC3D technology is aimed at providing complex solutions for modern and affordable housing, which will replace all conventional construction methods for home buildings developer companies. As a result, we will make construction greener, cheaper, more productive, and faster. It's also important to say that our buildings are extremely durable and can sustain most of the disasters like earthquakes, hurricanes, wildfires. And the IC3D has a great focus on sustainability side, as we're greatly reducing carbon emissions. We reduce the construction waste up to 90% and reduce the recurring use of energy for cooling heating, which could considerably compare it to impact like removing millions of cars out of the roads. All above mentioned makes us like a necessary advancement for construction industry. So we could say that we are a legal from building. On the technology side, we just finished the development of the second wave of our equipment. We have patents and our machines are next generation in comparison to competitors. We have successfully tested net zero geopolymer printing, and now we're about to print our first houses in GCC and US. We have a stellar record of pre-orders and ongoing partnerships, including pack of investors. Our startup is recognized by most notable US accelerators like Alchemist, Mass Challenge, Plug and Play. And this year, you also could meet us in TechCrunch Disrupt, as we are featured as a part of Startup Battlefield cohort. Currently, we are raising our second venture round of 1.5 million. Join us today and use a chance to become a partner of one of most impactful technology ever. Together, we can change the largest industry and everyone's lives. Thank you.
Thank you very much, dear Sharks. Do you have any questions? Anyone?
I'll take a question. Are you partnered with any construction companies at the moment?
We are partnering right now. We have several cooperation agreements in GCC region, and we are in negotiations in US as well as several notable leaders in logistics and home builders. So we're actually planning to launch our first pilot commercial projects early next year in US.
So you design the building, and then who builds it? You build it as well?
First of all, we provide a solution. So our business model, like we give a turnkey solution for construction development companies. So like they could get from us equipment, we give them material mixes, we provide them with architectural designs, and we support them so they could implement this in their construction chains.
Just quickly before I leave, just have a quick look at what they call circular economy. And if you feel there is a fit with what you guys are doing, we can connect offline.
Yeah, thanks.
All right.
Actually, we could provide very good seconds. Sorry.
One shark is in, congratulations. So let's ask as the rest of the sharks, maybe somebody else is interested to connect with you. Anyone?
Mac, can you talk a little bit more about your product roadmap right now? So right now it looks like you're building 3D models. What's phase 2 of this look like in the next 2-3 years?
As I said, we just finished the second generation of our equipment right now. So the first machine is already installed in Dubai. Everyone's like welcome to visit it. We're going to feature it at the upcoming RIAM event. It's like largest local additive manufacturing event. So we plan to print our first house within like 1-2 months here. We're also working on printing our own office here now. In the US, we almost finished our second machine production, which would be exclusively for US market. It would be delivered in US like 3-4 months. And then when it's delivered, we will start testing and prepare for the printing of the first commercial house here. In US, we're working now with UL Solutions to get all necessary certifications and be eligible for building permits. So for like 2-3 years, we plan to reach our Series B, as we plan to build like 20 to 30 houses as part of technology promotion and produce like 50 3D printers. By now, we have pre-orders from like 15 countries. So it's Europe, it's GCC, and North America. And it's both pre-orders for like construction projects, but mainly, of course, it's for our solution. So we have like 5 to 10 printers pre-ordered right now.
So I have a question. So what type of equipment are you using, and do you need like specific materials for 3D printing, or you can use what are available on the market? And can you print several store buildings, or it's only one store building? So what are restrictions for your technology, basically?
Yeah, first of all, to understand that 3D printing, especially our solutions, like a tool set, like you have a hammer or a drill. So first of all, it's like super flexible multi-tool that developer, construction company could use in the way they like. So of course, we have an approach even for high-rise buildings. So there is no limit in height, as we have 2 different type of machines. One of them on site, when we build a huge machine, our main machines, they're like as huge as 4-story buildings. Another is off-site machines, which could be installed in facility, and then you can print like a prefab elements and install them on construction site. So it's like modular construction. Regarding your question about material mixes, we have several approaches. Well, the exact approach depends on the customer. So first of all, we have set of developed material mixes which are based on locally available components. So we're not importing anything. We can produce it locally in every country. Another thing that we have a set of green materials. So for countries where it's viable, and we can allow using geopolymer materials or materials with organic components. And of course, we have even solution making like small batch plants. So developer, construction company, they can just batch material on site just using way cheaper ingredients.
Can you elaborate on that more about your cost and how much cheaper it would be? To me, I'm based here in Texas, so I know Icon, which I'm sure you're aware of as well, right? They do 3D printed, but just with concrete. And so their entire premise is 1, speed, 2, cost, and then 3 is durability. So how do you compare to that?
Of course, yeah, we're keeping an eye on Icon as they're like a leader now regarding the amount of funds raised. We have way more advanced technology and approach. For example, they are limited now to 1 story. Our equipment is modular, so you can have printing area according to your needs. We can expand on-site printers to print even 3-story buildings. That's actually what is request from GCC now. So here we're gonna deliver the printers with 9.5 height. Another thing regarding the economy, of course, it works around the material. So it also depends, on the our task. If we want to build affordable housing, of course, we could use like super cheap material, which could be still high quality, just need like a bit more of additional finishing. Like, for example, we can reduce potential price like to 5 times. For example, we had an estimates for our California project that it could be our pilot. We got 2.5 reduction in walls cost and a big reduction in overhead cost, close to 2 times. As you know, you print faster, so you have way less overhead in such projects. I have all the data, so I would be happy to provide and discuss it, like details.
As any as investors, a part of Stanley, interested to connect with Max?
Yeah, I'm interested to connect.
Congrats, we have 2 sharks in.
Yeah, thank you.
Make it 3.
3 sharks in, congratulations. So we are getting closer to the jackpot, all right. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Max. We're moving on to the next one. We will connect with Stanley, Elena, and Collin.
Thank you.
Yeah, today or tomorrow. So the next person to present is Eve Lagunova. Eve, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
You got 2 minutes. Please go for it.
All right. Thank you very much. In a world captivated by generative AI, metaverse, and Web3, emerges a pivotal challenge: the growing tech adoption gap. Hindered by skill gaps and inaccessible designs, sustainable practices take a backseat, and user experience lacks guidance. But imagine a solution blending emerging tech and green tech, inspiring net zero adoption, fostering upskilling, and offering accessible hands-on innovation all without travel. Hello, everyone. I'm Eve Lagunova Parker, founder and CEO of Evenus, a Dutch-American startup specializing in frontier tech. Our diverse team confronts this challenge with InnoCityX, an immersive digital hub for sustainable, accessible, and inclusive innovation for everyone, designed to seamlessly integrate with enterprise infrastructure. We seek today $250,000 plus towards our $3 million goal. Over 2 years, we've tested our concept, gaining support from SAP, Microsoft, Amazon Web Services, Women in AI, NVIDIA, KPMG, all those wonderful businesses committed to sustainability and inclusion. Global communities representing more than 300,000 members are virtual hubs. Large enterprises discuss digital twins, innovation labs, talent, and crowd testing. Why invest? Well, the metaverse could cut 10 gigatons of carbon dioxide equivalent by 2050 in the United States alone. 1 billion jobs shift due to tech, driving upskilling. Web3 and AI challenge most businesses, while strong ESG performance correlates with their net worth growth and long-term success. Think of us as a sustainable hub for serving as a bridge to a sustainable future, powered by AI, blockchain, emerging technologies such as extended reality and Web3. with the potential valuation equals to Airbnb, Uber, and Udemy. So your investment, why is it important? It completes our MVP. It helps us to unlock stable revenue streams and also helps us to prepare for organizing virtually the flagship United Nations Climate Change Conference in 2026, COP31. Will you invest? Thank you. I'm open to your question.
Thank you very much. Dear Sharks, your questions. Who wants to go first? Elena Gantvarg, maybe first.
Sure. So, thank you for the story. So, what do you have? What do you have today? Do you have a product ready? Like, or you mentioned MVP. What do you have today?
MVP is underway. We are working as fast as we can with 18 people on the team with diverse profiles. We have the initial prototype for the metaverse space that is built on NVIDIA Omniverse, as NVIDIA our partner. We are training the generative AI and AI recommender systems. It takes time to remove all the biases and test everything correctly. And we have now a very great supply of potential pilot customers, the companies I mentioned, plus many more, and community organizations that represent 300,000 members waiting for the product to be built. So to speed up the process, we just simply need help with investments to move forward with MVP, to finish everything that we're working on. And that will speed up the return on investment in the future as well.
Thank you. So since you compared yourself to many other successful companies, help me to understand, in order for you, for example, in the future to reach 100 million in revenues, what should happen? How should it look like? How many customers, etc.?
That's a great question. So what we managed so far since the foundation, we are now incorporated as C Corp in the United States. Originally, we come from Amsterdam, the Netherlands, where we have our office for the EMEA. And we managed to tap into NORTHAM, EMEA, MENA, and LATAM at this moment. Our team is diverse. Now, with the client pool, in order for us to activate those pilot customers who are in the pipeline, SAP, Capgemini, BCG, name them, they're a long list of large enterprises. They need the product to be visible. We need to finish it. And that unlocks our revenue stream with 100 million expected to be generated in 4 years from now, if it takes long for receiving the investment.
All right. Thank you. Any Sharks is interested to connect, I guess, in or out? No more questions? Well, thank you, Eve. We have more investors in the chat. Please, I've seen you shared your profile. Great. And keep it going. Like, great project. We love it. Yeah, and we'll see you in the next ones as well. All right. Thank you. And next person to present is, let me see my records, what my team have selected. And we are selecting everyone who's raising hands with real name, video on. So guys, make sure you have it. So the next person to present is Andrei Delonak. Andrei, are you there? You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, you got 2 minutes.
Hello, everyone. My name is Andrei Delonak. I am CEO and founder of Karta.me. And today, I want to address a common challenge we all face in our daily lives. We all use a different bank cards for our daily purchases, but this card only identifies us as a pair to the bank, not to the retailer. To get reward from loyalty program, we need additional card, loyalty card, or use another way to identify ourselves to get bonuses. What we do? We have created a Karta.me mobile application where the user registered and received his card, Karta.me ID. Next, we integrate Karta.me ID and user data into the retail loyalty program and in the bank card in the same time. This elevates our bank card into a universal loyalty card with payment function. We don't change the loyalty program of the retailers, but give the Karta.me users access to them using his Karta.me ID, which is the same for all retailers. We call it the digital passport of the customer. Secondly, we have competitors, loyalty card aggregators, and bank co-brand card, but there is a good demand for our solution from customers, bank, and international payment system. As a recognition of our efforts, we have been named Visa Brand of the Year for record sales of our card. We receive revenue from Visa for each active card, from bank, percent of transaction, for all advertising in our application, and from retailers for the customer data transferred to them. Currently, we have integrated with the top of 25 largest retailers in 3 different countries, totaling over 3,000 stores, attracted over the 160,000 users, and have revenue more than $60,000. We operate in one of the biggest markets in the world, payment card and retail markets. To further promotion Kartami, in the developed market, we are actively seeking a new investment. We already have a lead investor. It's a Faster Capital venture fund from Emirates. We participate in Accelerator Riyadh Bank, one of the biggest banks in Saudi Arabia. Our company incorporated in USA, Delaware. We create a seamless environment for easy participation for all of us in loyalty program with our card as a key entry point, supported by mobile application. Our main goal is Kartami in every wallet, both physical and digital. Thank you for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Sounds exciting. Partnership with Visa. There is a lead investor. Anyone interested to ask any questions?
How do you deal with the EU data laws? Because I mean, one of the most important things for most of these partners that you're going to have is the use of the data to actually better understand individuals' purchasing, if I can say, purchasing pattern. So how do you deal with the EU data laws?
Our users registered, receive his personal data to us, and we use all GDPR rules. In different countries, different approach, but we know it. We have a partner, biggest and most interesting loyal companies from different countries, and create all rules in GDPR, only this approach.
The partners exist already, or part of this money is to try and find them, or?
Yeah, we transfer personal data to the retailers and sign in inside in the loyalty program of the retailers. And our user have only one key for all different retailers loyalty program, only one ID. I show you this card. It's our card with it's my ID here, but it's a common Visa, but with ID. As a universal loyalty card, and my personal detail inside in the now in 25 biggest retailers. When the user register in application, he push the button agree with transfer the personal data to the retailers, and disagree and you as a user you can send it or you can take it off if you don't want it. Push the button, and in the retail loyalty program, all information will be closed.
Perfect.
Andre, can you talk a little bit more about your business model here, margins, how you're collecting revenue, things like that?
We have revenue from Visa for each active card. It's a one-time payment. Percent of transaction from partners bank where we issue our card. From advertising inside in our application, and from personal data we transfer it to the retailers. $1 per it's one-time payment, $1 per one personal data, and different marketing approach, cohort analysis, different personal approach inside in our application. But the most revenue from Visa and personal transaction from bank and transfer personal data to the retailer.
All right. Sounds exciting. Anyone interested to connect with Andre? Are you guys in or out? Okay. Thank you, Andrew. Great project. Exciting to have such a great partnership with Visa. I mean, really impressive. Good for you. And please stay in the chat, and please share your GGW profile here in the chat because we have more investors here. And we are moving on to the next presenter. And that is just a second. Greg Uspensky. Greg, you ready?
Hi, guys.
Okay, you got 2 minutes.
Oh, thanks, Daniil. Nice seeing everyone here. I'm Greg, founder of ASAP. And if we look at the client LTV of consumer brands, it's always declining. In the past years, it's been like this. So 75% of consumers are willing to trade their to change their product or service that they're using for other brands due to massive competition. And consumer brands are losing 40% of their revenue, and they are looking for ways to increase retention of their clients. And it's not CRM and loyalty system, because everyone has these one here, one there, and a community of their regular clients with discussions, feedback, honest space of chat with owners, and sending beautiful news. Next, we have we allow businesses to create fun and engaging activities and reward clients with memorable stuff, merch, and experiences. And the third part is the social mechanics that allows clients to invite others, create content, buy on the platform, and all of this increases the LTV of the clients. So our team is CTO, who's a 500 startups alumni with 15 years of experience, and I'm an experienced founder with 3 years of domain knowledge. And we've bootstrapped ASAP to 13K of MRR in our country, and we have 90% of retention, and we are ready to replicate this success in the US market. We're raising 450K of investment. Thank you.
Thank you. Right on time. That's great. I was about to say like your pastime. Great job. So 90% retention rate. So seems like a great opportunity. Well, dear investors, what's your questions?
90% retention rate on what sample size?
On annual retention of 200 SMBs that we got in our home country.
All right.
So that means that they started paying and they continue paying and upselling to higher tariffs, subscription plans.
Seems like the Sharks are thinking, Elena.
Yeah, I mean, you were breaking up, and I missed part of your pitch. So how were you able to? How are you able to reach this like 90% of retention, which is extraordinarily high?
Because we're targeting a new gap in the market. So basically, we're targeting the needs of the modern consumer. Modern consumer wants to feel special, to be part of the community, and to engage in fun activities. And that's what consumers want, and that's what customer owners want. That when they start working with us, and it's usually freemium, then they switch to subscription plans and they stop paying us and they don't switch off. That's pretty much it.
So when you're talking about 90% of retention, you measured it over which period of time?
3 years in Russian.
And you have 90% over 3 years?
Yeah.
Do the customers pay you like membership for subscription for the whole year right away, or per month? Monthly?
Per month. Yeah. They are really asking us to pay up front for a year, but we're not taking the annual plans yet.
Okay. So the question is any of the Sharks interested to connect, or are you guys out? Okay.
Great. I want to learn more.
Okay, congratulations. We have one Shark interested.
I'll send you a connect link. Thank you.
I will connect you via email after the event.
Okay.
Perfect.
Thank
you, Greg. Keep doing what you're doing. Great job. Please share your GGW profile here in the chat. And the next presenter is Jason Parnes from Rayform. Jason, are you here?
I'm here. Thanks, Daniel. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Yeah, 2 minutes.
Great. So yes, I'm here to talk about my migraine medical device. None of you have an interest in medical devices so far that I've heard, at least. And the reason why this is such an important venture is because it cured me over 20 years ago in just 1 to 5 treatments. It's able to offer decades-long relief. My holistic migraine medical device, objectively safe, 1 to 5 treatments, decades-long relief, as identified in an IRB study. 50% of patients went 3+ years after just 1 to 5 treatments that could be done at home. You guys are here to make money. You're here to invest in executives. I'm a quick study. I'm a CPA inactive, currently a licensed investment banker. I've done about $65 million worth of brokered transactions, Series 7, Series 63, Series 79, pass it in 18 days. I'm a quick study. But what really moves a company is the product. My product is superior to my competition. The current marketplace is incredibly lackluster. It demands disruption. It demands disruption. And if anyone in this room gets a headache, you should raise your hand, and just maybe actually saying something in the chat might be even better. If you're getting 7 or more headache or migraine days in a 90-day period, I can show you something that no neurologist has ever shared with you. And it's because they don't know about it. I'm going to change the game. Migraine won't be an invisible illness. And again, I know this is outside of your specialties, but we're here to make money. I'm $800,000 away from closing out my seed round, and I can prove concept. I can do anything you guys need me to do. Let's just let's please start curing migraines. I've been raising for 9 months, and it seems like a lot of people are scared to get their hands dirty. But you know, we're here to invest in teams and products, and that's going to lead us to making money. So happy to answer any questions from the Sharks. But I know you guys aren't really med tech people or digital health, but I'm also happy to take questions from anyone who's interested in the topic of migraine headaches. That's what I'm here to talk about.
Appreciate that, Jason. Your past time. And let's take the questions. Appreciate that. Dear Sharks, do you have any questions?
Yeah, I have a question. Is it FDA cleared, or you're in the process of developing?
So this is
device?
We have a predicate device we're basing our prototype off of. Our prototype is TRL5. I have a broad patent pending for an at-home version of this archaic predicate device. So it was a 510K cleared device by the FDA for the treatment of migraine. I actually have double-blind clinical trials. We did better than Imitrex in a study. Stanley, you look so curious. Come on, ask me a good question.
Yeah,
anyway,
I'm very
by the way,
curious.
Elena, thank you for your question as well. I'm happy to have questions from you too. I want to get positive conversations. Come on, yes.
No, I'm very curious because I want to know the background of your team, because I mean, if I look at you, you're quite a young man, and given your previous life in investment banking, I'm quite curious how you were suddenly able to come up with an innovation in migraine, if I can say prevention, where there's medical doctors that are still struggling with that. So I'm quite curious about your team.
Love that. Thank you so much. And Elena, I'm sorry, that was so rude. Thank you so much for your question as well. I'm so interested in working with all of the Sharks. And my team, I pretty much have a tactically assembled team right now, because my whole goal is just to get me to a ready to sell device. So why do I want to give my team equity when I can give them a little cash? And by the way, I'm 33 years old. And if I look a little bit younger, God bless, whatever, that's a good thing, I guess, in the long run.
Okay. Any more questions to Jason from anyone? Elena?
Okay. Guys, come on. We know people in our lives with migraine headaches. I could show you something with a fingertip right now that no doctor has ever shared with you before. And it's kind of, it's going to happen. So you should make money on it.
Jason, thank you.
I have a question, actually. So is it like the patient will be paid for this device or procedure, or it's you have a reimbursement costs?
So I do plan on having this be a B2C product. The reason being is because when the doctor died, the pioneering doctor who cured me, he died before social media. Had social media been around, people would have been screaming their heads off about this. And the only reason why I'm not is because I'm patent pending and I have no reason to kind of, I want to enjoy the fruits of my labor. And I want my investors to every single decision I make, I imagine my investors standing right behind me being like, what are you thinking right now? And I try to apply that and say, what am I thinking? How am I going to make sure I'm protecting this person's capital? And how am I going to make sure I'm protecting my own capital? I have $150,000 invested into this. I have prototypes, patent pending, USPTO, PCT. And I really encourage you guys to challenge me, seriously challenge me. And let's make a lot of money together. My team is ready to roll. I'm 6 to 12 months away from profitability. That is true. Okay. That is true. But that's healthcare, guys.
Thank you so much. And there is final question I have to the Sharks. So we proceed because I love your passion. You are a real entrepreneur. Great job. But
it's all true. So
absolutely, and I can confirm that.
You can't yet, but I can prove it to any patient. This literally, it's my lived experience. I've treated a pregnant woman.
Jason, we gotta move on because we have.
That's okay. Thanks, guys, so much. Appreciate it.
Please share your information here in the chat. Just final question.
Any shark interested in meeting again just before I do cede my time?
Okay. So any sharks interested to connect with Jason? All right. Thank you so much, Jason. Please share.
All right, guys. Thank you.
And please, we will continue to the next person, which is Steven Charla. Well, sometimes so much passion from the founders, they cannot stop, and I really appreciate this kind of energy. Well, Steven?
I'm here.
Okay, you got 2 minutes. Please go for it.
Okay, about 4 weeks ago, Johns Hopkins published a study that every year 800,000 people lose their lives or develop permanent disabilities from misdiagnosis. For me, that's more than a statistic. I lost my brother and a dear friend, my wife's best friend, both physicians, to misdiagnosis. If physicians can't protect themselves against misdiagnosis, who can? Well, according to the National Academy of Medicine, no one can. And that's why I founded SOAP Health. SOAP has developed an AI, conversational and generative AI patented and clinically validated platform called the Ideal Medical AI Assistant, made up of 3 parts. The perfect medical interviewer that has been clinically validated to interview patients better than any type of form or most doctors. RiskView, which performs the world's most comprehensive risk and symptom assessment. And the Smart SOAP Note, which creates an 85 to 90% completed medical note with risk and symptom assessment and treatment plan before the patient has even walked in the door. SOAP is now working with some of the top names in U.S. healthcare, like the Mayo Clinic, the National Cancer Institute, the University of Miami. We have a number of contracts already in hand, and we are closing out $700,000 on the 2.3 total the life raised seed fund. Thank you.
Anyone interested to connect with this founder? Anyone have a question?
Yeah. Can I ask questions?
Sure.
Okay. Steven, so you mentioned that you work with Mayo Clinic and so on. So how does this, like, could you tell me a little bit more about the nature of this cooperation?
Sure. So the cooperation with the Mayo Clinic, which is already on our cap table, is they have a project called Reimagining the Electronic Medical Record. Our application will save their doctors nearly 3 hours a day and will save their nurses and physician assistants over 4 hours a day by completing the patient intake before the patient even comes to the Mayo Clinic. So they are now paying us to do a pilot at the Mayo Clinic integrated with Epic, their electronic medical record system.
And how long is this pilot going to run for?
About 2 months.
And what are the KPIs for this pilot?
Well, the Mayo Clinic hasn't shared the KPIs, but I presume it will be patient acceptability and physician acceptability, and physicians save time in charting their medical encounters in the electronic medical record.
So basically, are you in the space of like patient intake? So
we do three things. We do patient intake better than any other methodology in the world. We have a patent on the broad use of a digital human as a medical interviewer. We have a patent pending on risk and symptom assessment, which is a superior way to reach the appropriate diagnosis and improve early disease risk detection. And we've developed a new way of delivering the data to doctors because they told us that when they get pre-collected data, they don't read it word for word, and they're at risk of missing something important. So we developed a new methodology of delivering the data, allowing the doctor to edit it. We also have a partnership with Adobe that was announced this week, 40,000 customers, that allows voice command and control of OnNote into over 100 electronic medical records today.
So is your competitive differentiation in the combination of a couple of like products, so to say? Because I know that there are lots of companies in the space of patient intake. I know that there are many apps and companies in the space of like diagnostics, based on symptoms. Those companies had access to Mayo Clinic and millions of patients, data of millions of patients. And so what is your competitive differentiation from all those players in the market today?
Sure. So first, let me explain. I'm a MD, MBA serial medical entrepreneur. I have 2 PhDs on my team, 2 Harvard MBAs, 2 MHAs on the leadership team. We're 31 people altogether. We have a patent, again, on the use of a digital human medical interviewer, which is the #1 methodology to collect information. It collects more truthful, more accurate, and more detailed information than any other application in the US, whether it's Phreesia or Notable or Health Note, etc. In terms of symptom triage, we don't do just symptom triage. We have a patent pending on risk and symptom assessment. The #1 reason for misdiagnosis is a doctor's failure to identify risk factors. The #2 is failure to generate a large enough differential diagnosis. We cover those two. The #3 reason is failure to order the appropriate tests. We're working with the Mayo Clinic in our own efforts. This is part of our patent to identify pre-visit which lab work should be ordered and completed so the doctor has the benefit of those results. That's the Mayo Clinic's little secret. They pre-interview patients before they come to the Mayo Clinic so the doctors have the benefit of the diagnostic results. So it's not only that we've combined 3 different distinct technologies, but we have superior modules in each of those distinct technologies.
Okay.
All right, thank you so much. Is there anyone interested to connect with Steven? Anyone?
Yes, I'm interested to connect.
Yeah, I'm also interested to learn more.
Me too.
3 Sharks.
I have one quick question. Can I ask one more with Steven?
Please do.
Hey, Steven, thanks for the presentation here. There's a lot of, a lot of dollars being pumped into just digital records in general. And I'm curious what I'm not sure agreeing with Mayo now, but in the future, what's your opinion on how you're going to take patient records? Is this something where you want to really digitize this and create a playbook that patients can use with all different types of providers, or is this going to be singularly focused on each individual clinic that you're signed up with?
So to paraphrase Henry Ford, though it's dubious he ever said it, he said if he'd asked his customers what they wanted, they would have said faster horses. We believe most digital health companies are building digital horses. We're building the equivalent of a car with the ecosystem, which is why we announced 2 major AI partnerships in the last week alone. We're building an ecosystem, a better way of medical encounters taking place, while at the same time, a future business model will be a B2C, enabling patients to keep their data, keep it organized, and give it to any doctor, even doctors who don't work with us. But currently, we're marketing directly to physician practices, and health systems. We're working with Atrium Healthcare, the University of Miami, Family Medical Associates, Ivy Creek. We have meetings set up with Kaiser Permanente, ChenMed, Palm Beach Accountable Care Organization, etc. This is the future of medicine.
Sounds great. Yeah, I've looked at a few companies like this, so I'd be happy to connect later.
Oh, fantastic! So 4 sharks are in, and the question is, are we here? Are we having here a jackpot or not? It all depends on Stanley.
That's too complicated for my criteria, so I think I'll leave the other 4 to go ahead.
All right, almost there, almost there.
And by the way, we are in the UK. We have a consortium with 2 of the top world experts in diagnosis submitting grants to the NHS, several $million grants, 2 specific grants with GP practices in the UK, because we're better than the best product in the UK who charges more than we charge.
Appreciate that, Stephen. Appreciate that.
Will it make a difference?
Will what make a difference?
Oh, not you there, but we'll talk later.
All right, so it was an attempt to actually convince to take on board Stanley. Well, thank you, Stephen. Please share your information here in the chat, especially GGW profile, and be moving on. And Dmitry Muzicko is the next. Dmitry, are you here?
Yes, I'm here and ready.
Okay, go for it. You got 2 minutes.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dmitry Muzicko, and I would love to present you an opportunity to invest into ecosystem for construction industry. We are starting in the US. We have very good and very strong background in US. I built myself 12 million residential remodeling company. Main goal for us is change the industry a little bit, make it a bit better. How are we going to do this? First, we have SaaS system, SaaS for construction companies and installers. Installers need work, construction companies need installers to do the work. Technically, it's marketplace as well as SaaS that organizes all workflow. Second part of our development is innovation, opportunity for homeowners to buy products right through the app. So just imagine, homeowner takes the phone, takes pictures of the house, gets instant 3D model of the house with measurements. From that point, changes roof, siding, windows, kitchen, bathroom, gets estimate and buys online. Pretty easy, pretty simple. Right now, process is kinda different and much more complicated. We understand the need, we see traction, we see good traction on our first product, which is SaaS for construction companies and subcontractors, and we already have 2,500 in monthly recurring revenue and growing it on daily basis. Right now, only last week, we've got 35 companies, new companies on the platform, and subcontractors need us because we give them work. We give them connections with construction companies. Second part, which is AI systems that generates 3D models and measurements, is still in development, and we will be ready to sell roofs sometime next year. Probably it will be mid of 2024. We are raising 500,000 just for us to get very good and very strong monthly recurring revenue on our SaaS system, which will fund then our AI system. That's about us. If you have any questions, would be happy to respond.
Well, right on time. Thank you. I love when founders prepare and just hit the right 2 minutes. Thank you, Dmitry. And dear Sharks, your questions.
Looks like we're covering a lot of the construction value chain, but I was hoping you could sort of simplify for us, really, what pain point are you solving? Is it that subcontractors need to connect with general contractors? Is it that you're connecting subcontractors with projects? What's sort of the key value add that is bringing people to your platform? And then the second part is, what's your revenue strategy here?
Sure. What is the need of subcontractors? They need work. They have crews that are installing shingles or installing 3 roofs or installing siding, and they need to be busy. They need to have their schedule planned for months. We are giving them jobs. Also, at first stages, we are making them interviews with construction companies who are giving them jobs. That's the need of installers. In very high market, when demand for services is super high, construction companies need subcontractors. So they are looking for them, and they can find qualified labor on our platform, on our SaaS. That's unique selling proposition. Also, we are providing them with common calendar, invoicing system, scope of work, picture exchange, everything they need to have for their workflow to be covered in our system. That's what we do. Revenue system, revenue strategy. It's subscription-based model for SaaS. So they are paying on monthly basis to get access to projects in the area. Also, they will be paying to use the platform because it's SaaS. It's scheduling, invoicing, all other tools that covers their processes. So construction companies will be paying for this as well. We temporarily lifted this payment, but we had some traction to it. We just need to improve our system a bit more. Hopefully I answered the question.
Yeah, that makes sense, right? It's a subcontractors, basically one-stop shop.
Yes, yes. What I'll tell more is HubSpot. We are working on ecosystem with HubSpot to become the main and biggest, like to cover all ecosystem in current market. Like HubSpot offers marketing and sales, we offer production all in one place for construction companies. It's active and will be done probably next Friday. Will be finished.
All right, thank you. Any other investors? Stanley, you were asking something, no? Did I catch it?
Yeah, I was just trying to understand who the customers are.
First customer is subcontractor. Second customer is construction company, the one who is selling the project and plays management role in project. Third customer is homeowner, people who need replacements of their roof, siding, windows, but it will be in a year.
Perfect. Anyone interested?
Are you measuring quality or tracking quality?
Quality of
quality of work, responses, things like that.
We provide tools to manage quality. First, it's review system. It's possible to leave reviews about them on the platform, about subcontractors, for example. Then it will be possible about contractors. I mean, from homeowners. Right now, subcontractors will be able to leave reviews about contractors. So this is first. Second is we're providing portfolio features and picture updates on every single project. So it's possible to track the quality of install every single step.
Okay, so dear Sharks, anyone interested to connect with Dmitro? I appreciate that. So Dmitro, thank you.
I will.
Okay, congratulations. One Shark is in. I'm super excited. So well done. We'll connect you after the event. And we're moving on. Please share your information in the chat. And we're moving on to the next presenter. That is Tahir Oju Somalia. Tahir, are you here? Are you ready? Tahir. Few seconds. If not, we'll have to pass it to the other one. Tahir Oju. Okay, so if Tahir not here, we're moving on to the next one. Lex Korzenko of Fuel Well.
Absolutely right, guys. So let my first 2 minutes start. So meet Fuel, a retrofit for transport that dramatically saves on fuel and cuts emission. Annually save over 11,000 and better for environment. Again, my name is Lex, and let's dive in. 80% of everything in the US is transported by trucks. About 80% of those are secondhand, leading to extra fuel costs of nearly 11,000 and another 5,000 on exhaust emission maintenance systems. So yeah, our device cuts 5,000 on fuel per single unit and $1,000 on exhaust maintenance yearly. Installation, it's under 30 minutes on any professional service station. When it's worn, you just replace the one and you go further. So it reduces particulate matter pollution by 90%. It's approved by laboratory research, and it cuts also CO2, NOx, and CO emissions. So not only saving, but ecology. According to methodology, which is like going to be approved by Golden Standard and Vera, by 2027, we'll generate carbon credits as an additional revenue stream for us. Think it's like second filter, yeah? So you can understand it like a second fuel filter with benefits, of course, and it ensures faster, complete combustion of fuel and doesn't change chemical composition. It's metals with catalytic properties. It's not a secret. Secret sauce is indifferent. So it's tested on 70 engines, exhaust like from 70 engines of US trucks. It's test available, and we are now doing sales in US. For fuel end users, it's a win, same as for us. 2-month sales cycle, low transition cost, 45% profit margin, 60K profit from clients, and we do have more. Focusing on the S18 wheelers, we aim to household name, status like in 3-5 years, target massive revenues this way. So we are being in retrofit solution among competitors because simply due to the best cost of return ratio in fuel saving and emission, plus seamless integration with our different solutions. So 50K in revenue, 500,000 in revenue, strong social presence, and 70 new leads per month. Beyond freight, we are eyeing to construction, agricultural, railway, marine, so we are applicable to the whole transportation, which you name conventional. A tight-knit team includes Sergey, he's 13 years in hardware startups, so Stanislav, 20 years in PR, myself in business development with a huge corporate international experience, and our mentor, Elena Adams, serial founder with successful exits in clean tech and like also conventional transport service, so we are very much baked with it. So we are raising funds to expand.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Yes, it was the last phrase.
I love your T-shirt. Great.
Yeah, thanks.
So fantastic. Dear investors, do you have any questions to this startup?
Janai, this sounds like a no-brainer. I'm a little bit perplexed why you're so small. Because Because I mean, if you look at the current, the whole world is talking about emission control and fuel emissions and things like that. So for me, if you look at your technology and what it's supposed to do, you know, I'm a little bit surprised that you're not being bought over or something like that. What is preventing this upscale? Have you spoken to motor manufacturing companies to see whether this is something that they can incorporate into their production process? Like, talk to me about your potential to scale and where you're going to scale.
Okay, so first I will answer the first part of your question. So it was why we are not built so far. So we are incorporated in US in 2022. It's a project launch also. So we are very early, I mean, young in ages, but product is fully completed, no R&D needed. So we spoke with BMW, General Motors, Toyota, Nissan, a lot of these manufacturers, also OEM manufacturers like Denso, stuff like that, yeah. So what their position is that they're not focused on, you know, doing something with their heritage. So basically they need something what they will install from the very first day of their vehicle, either parts, yeah. So as there is no, for Denso, for example, for OEM, as it's no number for such part in like early manufactured vehicles, they cannot sell it additionally because that's not the original part of a vehicle. So we are standalone here. Yeah, when we speak about automotive manufacturers, they are focused on AI, computer vision, autopilot. So they're not focused to do something with conventional transports. The conventional transport is left for California Research Board. It's left for our life. It's like 2 billion vehicles globally, and basically they emit a lot, and they're getting older.
Yeah, I
so
think
we are just.
Yeah, I mean, just to shorten it and make sure that everybody else gets an opportunity. Let's link outside of this. I do think that you are looking at the wrong market, but let's link outside of this. Okay.
Of course, great. Elena, Collin, David, everybody of you drive vehicles. So it's basically save your cash. You pay less on a gas station. So just ask me a question.
Thank you.
So it's already.
How much of your future business model is predicated on carbon credits?
Oh, okay, that's a curious question. So as we understand now that carbon credit market is not fully legit, so we have two markets, so which is governmental and which is like, you know, like it was with like cryptocurrencies, yeah, before very in 2000. So we wait 2027 when it's legally will be only governmental market for carbon credits, and the revenue will be it's up to 3 carbon credits at the cost of $200 per single device, so per year. So I mean, if we use like 1,000 devices, you will multiply it, so it's a billions. It's a billions because the carbon credits belongs to fuel well, while users just drive their miles, and you know how many miles are driven per year, per day, per month, and just multiply it on planes, vessels, locomotives. They do it every day, so it's a billions. And it's real emission reduction. It's not something invested in project, it's direct.
So let's let the sharks ask you questions. Any more questions from the sharks? Okay.
David, Elena.
Thank you. So we have Collin that so we have Stanley that willing to connect with you. So we'll connect you. But great project, great traction. Keep it up. Share your contacts here in the chat. Your GGW profile as well. And we're moving on to see other awesome founders. And the next would be, let me see, Alex Roscoe from GrowFlux. Alex, are you here? You ready?
Howdy, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can. You got 2 minutes. Go for it.
Yeah, so my name is Alex Roscoe. I'm CTO and co-founder of GrowFlux. So I'm here to talk to you today about the agricultural space and what we do, which is a wireless connectivity solution for equipment providers that serve farmers. So farmers have very limited connectivity options for controls and sensing and grower metrics. And if they do, it's typically a complicated install process, and it's a challenging wireless RF environment due to the space. So the equipment manufacturers that also serve these farmers, they don't really understand software development or wireless IoT. So that's where we come in. We make a sub-gigahertz wireless mesh that's plug and play, sets up in minutes. The signals go over a kilometer. We manage everything from accounts, device provisioning, data, and advanced meshing software. So our go-to-market is working with these equipment vendors, and each one of them has an army of sales. They go farm to farm and sell our equipment or sell our software. So with that, we were on over 12,000 different devices, 400 farms, and 16 countries. We competed with Samsung, went head-to-head with them on a vendor and beat them out. Our technology is exhibited on 50 different booths across trade shows, including brands like Philips Signify. Our team, we have 2 exits under our belt. Myself, I come from Comcast, where I led engineering for wireless internet infrastructure. Eric, my co-founder, has 13 patents in his space and comes from DuPont. My sales director worked at Cloudimize, which ultimately exited to Blackstone. So we're asked today, finally, I'm asking for $1 million. We just received a $150,000 check a couple of days ago. We're looking for a lead. Our minimum check size is $50,000. We're backed by two Fortune 100 companies. Also, David Mandel, who's the judge today. We're a Clean Tech Open alumni. We have a proven product with revenue, and we're looking to expand our marketing and sales.
Great job. So some of the startups, they do some homework and they know some of the criteria of the investors. So that's probably why he addressed this today. But dear Sharks, your questions.
Like Alex said, I am an existing investor in GrowFlux, so I should abstain from asking additional questions, but I've been getting regular updates from them and they're doing a good job.
Perfect. Anyone else want to ask?
Can you talk to us about what other countries you operate in? Unfortunately, when it comes to ag tech, we cannot invest anywhere in the States due to the Delaware structures or anything like that. So can you tell us what other countries you're in?
So other than the United States, we're in Canada, Mexico, the Netherlands, Germany, Singapore, Iceland, just to name a few.
Okay, it's fine. We can catch up after.
Sounds good.
All right, so one shark is in, Stanley's in. We'll connect. Anyone else interested? Okay, so Alex, great job, great traction, results amazing.
Thank you.
Please share your.
I'll put my
Alex,
profile.
I would like to connect as well, actually.
Okay, I'll put my profile in the chat below, so you can follow me there.
Fantastic. So thank you, thank you, Elena, and 2 sharks are in. Congratulations. And it was fast and efficient. The next startup will be Denis Kilatov. Denis, please shout out. Are you here? Denis, are you ready to pitch? Okay, so if Denis is not here, then we're moving on to the next person, Derek Liston from DJO. Derek, you ready?
I'm here and I am ready.
All right, go for it. You got 2 minutes.
Yep. So by seeing the investment profiles of the panelists today, I might be doing an uphill battle here, but I'll go ahead. I'm Derek Liston. I'm the founder of DidYou. DidYou is a consumer app in the community productivity and social spaces, and we're raising a $650,000 pre-seed round. We're based in Colorado. Every day of your life is an adventure. Journaling and sharing your life takes time and effort each day, which is a problem for most people. Plus, the journaling apps are really bad at sharing, and the sharing apps are really bad at journaling. In the world of consumer apps, everyone's really focused on the wrong thing. They're all building the next Twitter or recalibrating the algorithm in your social feed or building anonymous apps that are addictive and unhealthy. At DidYou, we're hyper-focused on redefining how people remember and share their lives in healthy and genuine ways. DidYou combines the best of private journaling and immersive storytelling into one easy-to-use AI-powered app. The cool thing is, your phone is the key. All the information is there already. Your photos, where you go, who you see, even the music you listen to, and the stats from your workout. We simply use a combination of automation tools and AI tools to harness all that information and present it to you each day in a summarized format. You hardly have to lift a finger. We reduce the friction associated with journaling and sharing to near zero. Our MVP is on the app stores, and we currently have a growing global beta test group. We expect to grow to about 1 million users within 2 years and 7 million users within 5 years. The app is free to download and use. We make money by selling digital ebooks and beautiful hardcover books of your adventures. Turns out consumers are really hesitant to spend $2 a month on an app subscription, but they'll drop $100 on a coffee table book in a heartbeat. We'll also consider monetizing with ads or by offering a subscription for premium features or content. My team has decades of collective experience in leadership, startups, and the tech industry, and we've got a famous explorer and television presenter on our team. Like I said, we're raising a $650,000 pre-seed round to implement our AI features, optimize our user experience, and get us to a seed round. Thanks very much.
Thank you so much. Right on time. I really love it. Like very, very prepared founders. So, dear Sharks, your questions to Derek. Who wants to go first? Elena, would you like to ask any question, if you have any?
Given the investment theses, given the investment theses of what I heard at the beginning, I'm not surprised there are no questions with the consumer app. So,
yeah. so is it the like? Did you launch the app? Is it like can I download?
It's on the app stores. It's free. Go to the app stores and download it. Start journaling.
How many users do you have?
We have about 100 global, 100 beta testers right now. We're in an open beta. We launched about 2 weeks ago, and we've gotten about 100 downloads in the last 2 weeks.
100 downloads in the last 2 weeks. Did you start measuring your retention?
Well, I mean, retention in a free user app. I mean, once it's downloaded, we can see who uses it. And so we can see. Yep. So retention is huge.
Yeah, I'm not asking you about the 2 weeks retention, obviously, but down the road, you will be getting lots of questions about the usage.
Right,
so
of course.
I would start measuring it like from day one.
Yeah, and daily active users. Yeah, so I don't have a data scientist on my team. And so we do what we can with what we've got. But right now, about 50% of our downloads are weekly active users.
Okay, it just, for consumer apps, this is number one question.
Yep, totally.
Obviously, yeah.
Okay. Are there any Sharks interested to connect with Derek? All right. Thank you, Derek, so much. Great job. Please share your contact details. We move on. And it's not hard to actually get connected with Sharks, but still they listen and they might connect with you later. And we have more investors in the chat here. Well, the next person to present is Brittany. Brittany, are you here?
Hi there. Nice to meet you / see you.
You got 2 minutes.
Right. Awesome. So my name is Brittany. I am the founder of Nix Carbon. So we just changed our name. It's a lending platform for sustainability-linked bonds. So we all know that companies need to report on their emissions and invest into carbon removal. And the carbon market's a really great way of making this happen. Which is why it's growing so fast. It generated $84 billion in revenue in 2022, according to the World Bank, and new project developers seem to be coming online every week. But anyone who's following this space knows that it's under a lot of criticism. This criticism is a result of just unorganized information on the role of these project developers as they come into the market. And this lack of clarity makes giving them access to finance and financing carbon removal extremely difficult, especially at smaller scales, when companies at the same time are worried about the reputational risk. But despite all of this, if we look at regulatory pressure and proven climate-related financial risk, this market should honestly be growing even faster than it is. So what we have is a solution that makes it easy for project developers to remove carbon by providing them with the capital to do so. And the way that we do this is by bringing more transparency and more clarity to the role that these project developers play across the value chain. This enables them to find new capital for projects without having to rely on selling carbon credits in advance. So we bring clarity to the role of project developers by combining first and third-party data in an algorithm that evaluates their reliability. And then we use this information on a lending platform, which provides the venture debt to each of these project developers. We make a business model. So our business model is based off of transaction fees, and we're testing a SaaS subscription to the market research that's generated on the platform. We're launching our MVP this week with 4 phenomenal project developers after validating the need for the solution with over 80 interviews across the carbon market. I personally have spent the past decade in climate, first in energy policy, then venture capital. Before this, built a direct-to-consumer mobile health and fitness app. And our dev team has experience both in debt finance. Of course, they're software developers and have previously founded companies before. So we are fundraising 1.5 million, but most importantly, we are looking for asset managers or corporate finance departments interested in expanding into the carbon market without having to buy carbon credits in advance.
Thank you so much. Right in time. And dear Sharks, do you have any questions? We don't have many female founders, and it's always great to see female founders pitching and building some awesome projects. And we're great to have you. We are grateful that Brittany joined as well. So dear investors, if you have any questions.
Yeah, Brittany, thanks for presenting. I'm here in Texas, so this is something that hits close, and I've heard of a few companies doing similar things. So I have a few questions here, but the first one is, how are you allocating capital? Is it based off of the number of projected carbon credits? And then to follow up to that, how are you projecting carbon credits, which are notoriously difficult to track and really comprehend and get accurate?
Yeah, so we're essentially looking at project developers more from like a venture debt perspective, in which carbon credits and their sale of credits are used to assess how much revenue they'll bring in. So we'll take a metric like how many carbon credits have they already sold in forward purchases versus how much more do they need to finance a new project. So it's the project developers who will determine the amount that they need to raise to get these new carbon removal projects online. And then our platform connects them with a lender who's looking at, one, how much revenue they're generating through the sale of credits, and various other factors that determine how strong their company is. So that they can make that financing for the different developers.
Got it. So you're brokering, not necessarily underwriting all of this.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, just following on the question, I mean, it sounds like an interesting project. I mean, one of the things that I actually want to better understand is what market you actually use to price it. Because like it was said just now, it's a very volatile and if I can say credited market. So how are you pricing this, and how are you pricing the projections as well?
Yeah, okay. So we're not in the business of selling the credits. That is for the role of the project developers. Right now, if you look at a high quality carbon credit, according to most of the leading registries out there, it's around $40. It's projected to rise to around $100 within the next 3 years. So we have an average overall, of course, depends on the data sources, of 20% year-over-year growth. So with our platform, you essentially have the option to either provide the debt financing to these project developers at a 14% return, or take the option to actually receive the carbon credits. So this is really great if you are a corporate, let's say sustainability or finance department that may or may not want to count these carbon credits towards your sustainability goals, but still would like to invest in them at a specific point in time. It's also great for asset managers who are looking at that same role of potentially using these carbon credits towards internal commitments, or simply supporting the growth of this market without necessarily having to take ownership and purchase these carbon credits outright. So it's a swap mechanism that is, programmed within a smart contract that we're essentially using to enable the platform to function. Does that make sense?
No, I get it. I definitely want to speak to you offline, because we've looked at something like we've done an investment looking at something like this with our foundation. So we've looked at something like this. So we can connect offline, and I can point you to the right people within the organization who might be more attuned to your project. So I'll leave it to the other investors.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Stanley. One shark is in. So what about the rest of the sharks?
You make that two. I do have one more quick question though, Brittany, which is there a part of this that you collect enough data where you almost become a recommendation engine as well in terms of how to finance projects and things like that? I know there's a few startups in the space that are really focused on helping project finance teams understand the potential return of what they're doing and how to really not only allocate capital, but start to actually implement and transition their projects to be more effective.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's where we're exploring a SaaS subscription model. So as we build out profiles of these developers and look at key data points like what verification methodology they're using, what types of customers they're selling to, what like the time frame in which they expect these projects to be delivered. And we allow access to that data to better create, I would say both for the supply and the demand side, a better understanding of what project developers are doing, how they're selling credits, and how those credits are generating revenue. Is information that we're considering selling. And I think one last thing I want to throw in there is that we're working with project developers who are raising under $1 million because that's where we see the biggest gap in the market. You have large financial institutions who are able to work with project developers who have tens of thousands of hectares, but anyone underneath that kind of struggles to get started. And so that's where we're focused on deploying the capital. Thanks.
Thank you. All right, 2 sharks are in. Congratulations. So what about the rest of 3? Okay. All right, fantastic. So Brittany, thank you so much for a great presentation. Great to have you. Please share your contact information in the chat, and especially your GGW profile so investors can connect with you. And we are moving on to the next presenter. We have just 10 minutes before the session is over. So just keep in mind, not everyone will be able to pitch because this is a 2-hour event. And we will let you guys pitch who won't make it today. On the next event, just reach out to us via our email. I just shared this in the chat just to make sure that you will be able to pitch. Now, the next presenter is, let me see, it's Wei Xiong from Udama. Oh, no, sorry. My bad. Romana Gabek. Roman, please go for it. Roman, are you ready?
Hi. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. My name is Roman, and I'm a founder at Rolin, database performance tuning service. We help developers improve applications performance by providing an AI-powered cloud service that automatically offers recommendations to accomplish database performance and reduce service costs. Unlike our competitors, Rolin has the simplest interface and an easy-to-use dashboard. And this is a $2 billion opportunity, and now is the best time to build such service because of growing demand and increasing complexity of database systems. Customers pay us monthly for every database we tune. We have already achieved 2,000 registered users, 100 loyal customers, and we are growing 15% monthly. We have team, advisor, and the first investor from database industry. We currently need $2 million to expand customers' database and support multiple database systems. Thanks.
And which databases do you operate on today?
Today we started from MySQL.
Is that the only one at this time?
Yeah. Next, we are working now on Postgres, and we have early customers for that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else interested to ask questions? Okay, so if no sharks interested to connect, then we're moving on. Roman, thank you so much for your pitch. Great pitch, and just share your information here in the chat. Other investors can see.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. And the next person,
thank you.
Thank you so much. The next person is Devon Oakley. Devon, are you there?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. You got 2 minutes, please. You may start.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Devin Oakley, CEO, co-founder of Jimble. Our customers are tired. Sports and fitness facilities are tired of hacking their back office to fit their business needs, tired of using multiple platforms to run their business, and tired of losing time and money due to inefficient booking methods. So insert Jimble, an all-in-one platform for sports and fitness facilities to manage team members, scheduling, and payments. Since launching our platform in March, we have clipped $2,000 in MRR, facilitated over $50,000 in payments, and we had paid trials with the Charlotte Hornets and the Boys and Girls Club on our free tier. We already had clients switching over to market leaders such as Mindbody, Vagaro, and Squarespace. We're excited about our future. We're working on a third iteration of our product based on customer feedback, such as DocuSign integrations, private bookings, and early bird pricings. We built an additional pipeline of about $7,000 in MRR, and we're confident on closing 4 upon our product release in January. Our product is needed now more than ever with the professionalization of youth sports. Parents are spending more money than ever in this space, and this market is expected to reach $18 billion by 2031. We're currently raising a pre-seed. We closed 16 to date, have an additional $250,000 commitment, and we're looking for 1 or 2 strategic investors to close out a round of $1.2 million. I would love to answer any questions that you all might have, as we only have 7 minutes left here. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. We're moving on. And dear Sharks, do you have any questions?
I'm familiar with Mindbody. Pasadena Angels, where I'm an active member, was one of the early investors in Mindbody, and that's one of their success stories. They're still used quite by a lot of organizations. Why would someone switch? What makes you better?
1, the consolidation. So our current customers are using multiple platforms while using Mindbody. So they're using Mindbody for the booking engagements with the back office operations. They have to use Google Sheets or manually track. So we're talking to our customers to kind of fill that void and only allow them to use one platform.
Okay. Any more questions? Any Sharks interested to connect? All right. So thank you, Devon. Appreciate that. We are taking the final startup to pitch for today before we close the session. That would be Wei Xiong Udama. Yedumame. Sorry.
Edumame.
Okay. You will be the final presenter for today. You got 2 minutes, please. You may start.
Thank you. Am I going to be on screen or?
You are.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Thank you for the opportunity. Edumame is basically a free market for knowledge. Is aimed for consumers to teach one another anything they are interested in. So it's a tool to manage teaching or learning. And it's not too much different from Go Global, but it's basically an app. The main functions include a search engine. So if you're a teacher, you want to teach, actually you're a learner, you want to learn something, you just type it in and search what you are interested in. And then if you're a teacher, it's a marketing tool to basically get yourself out there. And he also has as a calendar for booking schedules and all that, and he handles financial transactions. So there are 4 main functions. Of course, there are other features we can go into later on. So right now, we just launched our app, and it's a stable version. We're in the middle of user acquisition. And right after this, I'm actually going to teach a chemistry tutoring session through that. We're looking to raise 250 to maybe 500,000, and that money is going to be used for marketing programs, advertising campaigns, and some further development mostly on the user interface. And that's it. So it's pretty straight and simple. I have the app loaded here. If people can see, it's uploaded up.
Okay, any questions?
All right, thank you so much. Dear Sharks, if you have questions, please ask. I'll be just going to put you all on the stage. Just a second.
I have a quick last question. We invested in something like this in England about 10 years ago. And I think at the beginning, it sounds great. For us, what happened was that the novelty wore off. And so the thing is that the question is that how do you going to keep people interested? Because I mean, now these days, if you have ChatGPT and all of this information is being provided to you for free, knowledge is literally. So how do you keep people interested? What makes yours unique?
Yeah, this is a great question because AI is on the rise, and people want her to invest in that. But I believe teaching is quite personal experience. Mentorship cannot really be replaced. You can look up information, you can find good information, but what you cannot find is guidance in life. And I believe that's still very important in life. And a lot of you are here, you are consultants, you have a lot of things to share. And you can use this platform to, among other platforms, to offer your service to help others. Or you can, if you have personal struggles in certain areas, you can find other people to help you. AI is great in doing certain things. They're task masters, but they're not going to replace human touch.
Thank you so much. We're about to finish the session today. So I have a final question to the Sharks. Is there anyone interested to connect with Wei? Are you guys in or out? There's final in and out today. Okay. So the Sharks are out. Wei, great job. Thank you for your presentation. And please share your information here in the chat. So the final thing for today is just one thing, is to close the session. Just the final words of wisdom or whatever you guys have on your heart, please share it. And we may start with, okay, David, do you want to give the final words of wisdom and your final feedback to the startups today?
Oh, great event. Thanks for having me. Nothing else really to add.
All right, appreciate that. And if you guys have any recommendation to start up or something like that, also feel free to do that. Collin, would you like to go next?
Yeah, and just before we go, just in order to do that, I know there's a lot of starters who didn't get to pitch. If we can get a list of some of the starters, startups who were actually in the, if I can say, in the program, then at least, although they didn't get to pitch, they also have an opportunity for some investors to also maybe contact them. So maybe that could help with those other starters. But yeah, it's something that I think could be helpful for them.
Great feedback, Stanley. Thank you so much. They are all registering on the platform, goglobal.world. So this is where we try to connect you by the criteria. So most relevant people connect with relevant people. That's how we facilitate. And the next pitch will be to let them pitch among the first. So Stanley, do you have any feedback to start us based on what you heard today?
No, I think that, I mean, for me, I thought it was very, very good. I think what they should next time, what is important is also look at the type of investors that are on their platform, and that, because that makes it easier for you to get the appropriate feedback and also give other people a chance who are more aligned with the investors. And that's their only feedback. But thanks a lot for all the hard work, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you for your feedback. Collin, would you like to go next?
I thought it was great today. Kind of feedback I would give is this is a pretty quick pitch, right? 2 minutes. You hope to have a little more like 5-10 with maybe a presentation or two. So knowing that, my best advice for a lot of startups that are yet to go would be you're really succinct as the problem you're solving, the way you're solving it, what makes you different, the traction that you have. That would go a long way.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the feedback, and thank you for joining. All of you are always invited to our pitch event to be judges. Elena, you'll be the final judge and investor shark to close this global session. No pressure, but whatever you have on your heart, that will be super admired by our global audience.
Sure. Well, thank you for inviting me. It's difficult to provide any specific feedback when so many startups have pitched today. But I would like to ask everybody who didn't get much interest today, please do not get discouraged, because we do have our own, like VCs have our own requirements on stage-wise, and like we invest in certain stages, and occasionally it's too early or it's like a different space. But do not get discouraged by like if you know if neither of us responded to you today. You're doing a great job, and maybe next time, you know, now when you raise your next round, you will get a lot of interest.
Well, I am super grateful to all the judges today for all your feedback, for selecting startups. We have so many connections today. Some startup didn't get the connection, so they have some work to do, and they will come back and maybe convince other investors. I greatly appreciate all your work and all your feedback, Stanley, Collin, David, Elena, and other Elena. So I really hope that you guys come back and see other startups. Please see startups on our platform. And dear everyone who were pitching today and didn't pitch, thank you for being with us. Thank you for supporting us. And what I want to say that those who didn't pitch, you'll get the priority. So don't worry. We are here to give you the chance to meet real investors. And this is a tough year. GoGo World is supporting venture capital industry and startups. So we are connecting relevant people with relevant people. So with that, I shared the link of how to create a profile on our platform and the feedback form. Please share it, and it will help us to make this feedback better. And shout out in social media so we can spread the word about this great event and about you guys. Thank you so much, everyone. Have the rest of the week. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you on next event in 2 weeks on September 22nd. It will be GGW 29 Sharks. Take care, everyone, and have a great one. Goodbye.
Thank you.